Good afternoon, Toby Foster in the afternoons on the BBC across Yorkshire. Now, it's the last day of shooting today for an independent film being shot right here in Yorkshire. Jordan-Kane is a young filmmaker from South Yorkshire who's already won awards for his stuff. And his latest project is a film called All You Do Is Bleed. So let's talk about it now, because they've been filming in Sheffield today. Jordan's in the studio alongside Izzy, who's been acting in it. First things first, Jordan, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, how are you?
Well, thank you. Tell us about the film.
So we started planning this probably 2 years ago when I started Sheffield Hallam my MA course, and it's just been a long road up to filming, and we've been filming since August.
What's really interesting, we've just been talking about TV and the way that TV habits are changing, and that's difficult for some people, but the way things are moving forward makes things like independent filmmaking much more accessible for people, in that kids become smaller, kits become more accessible, and actually getting to a screen is a lot easier than it ever was, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of...
I'm sure it's still not a piece of cake.
Yeah, it's just it's a lot of the technical stuff is become a lot cheaper. You don't need as much equipment to get similar results, and but the places in Sheffield that you can film, and everyone's open to hosting smaller projects and our kind of projects.
So where does your interest in filmmaking stem from?
When I was a young kid, I used to make little camcorder films, not like the film because I'm a bit older, like VHS and stuff. And then I went from there, and then I went to Royal Henry Fanshawe. We went to school. I did film studies at school. I really enjoyed that, but I wanted to do more practical, so I went to college, and then that led to university. And then I've just finished my MA, and we did a feature at the same time then called Nothing Goes.
One or two closures in place in the centre.
Derby Quad Film Festival, and then I kept showing them to universities and schools and colleges. I went all around the country, 20 odd different colleges and universities to promote the film, and I got really good feedback from it. And that uses mixed media, so it uses that camcorder footage with high quality cinematic footage.
Of course, one of the problems with it is that even when stuff's easier to make and easier to film, it still costs money.
Yeah.
And film financing is notoriously difficult.
Yeah. With the financing with this, I was lucky to have people just fellow students and stuff wanting to film me. So Izzy, she does the Sheffield Hallam course at the moment. She's a student, second year, was it?
Bachelor's, last year.
Yeah.
Last year.
Well, we're going to come to Izzy, to be fair. Then
Devils.
You've come. We just went to shake hands and you said, "Careful, I'm covered in blood."
Yeah.
Nah, that doesn't normally happen.
Yeah, that's not how I usually exist. No, we've just finished shooting, just wrapped up completely. My sort of involvement in it has been, my mum knows Jordan. I saw Nothing Goes. I really enjoyed it. And then you said that you were doing this project, and I was like, that sounds really interesting. Do you mind if I audition? I originally auditioned for a completely different character, but we had some conversations, did a bit of testing with some other characters, and ended up with Zoe, the main girl who turns into the vampire. And it just means that there was a lot more blood than I initially expected.
So what course are you doing then? Is it drama course you did, acting? Or
acting and performance I did in college, so I did 2 years of college, and then I went to university, did University Hall from Hillsborough College, and then moved to Sheffield Hallam for my last year, and hoping
top
to take...
Up, isn't it?
It's top up,
And hoping what? What's the plan?
My sort of aim for the whole career is, I just love acting, any form of acting. If I really feel like I connect with the story, I really want to use experiences and my sort of knowledge of acting to help create a project. And I just really love it, and I love horror films, so when it was like, oh, it's a vampire film, I was straight away,
and you came on really early in the project, and you were able to basically add things to the characters that weren't initially there. So she would slightly adjust the script, so the slang and stuff was more from Sheffield and stuff, because you lived in Sheffield your whole life. I've originally born in Birmingham, and then when I was at the age of 10 I moved up into Unston and then Dronfield.
We'll talk about moving around, because that's really interesting. Of course, the career that you've both chosen, really. Go back 30 years and your next move had to be to London.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt. That's not necessarily the case at all now, is it?
I think with social media, not necessarily, but there still is a lot more film projects in like Manchester and London and stuff, but you're starting to see a lot more independent studios pop up all over the place, just because the access of seeing the films online and stuff is a lot easier than getting onto these platforms. Like I've managed to get my film onto like Toby, which is like a new streaming service, Amazon, and
Indeed, in Sheffield we've got people like Warp Films, of course, which making the biggest stuff
and stuff like that.
The biggest stuff on the screens, really. I mean, they're fantastic. How do you go about getting on something like Amazon?
So it's a long process, but there's some shortcuts you can do as long as they give you a format, and then you need to meet the standard of that format. For instance, so like the picture size, this is all the boring stuff, like the technical side, and then they'll approve it. But you can go through like a third party, for instance, and I use a film hub, and they can get you onto all these different platforms. So I've got films that are showing on in America right now and stuff, which aren't accessible here, but that they will sell it for you. Well, not sell it for you, but distribute the film on platforms.
Fantastic. What's next for you after this then? Is it, well, first things first, when does the film come out?
Hopefully I want to get it for like October time this year, for Halloween and everything. Have a big screening, be free to come for the screening, but we still got, I've got to double check everything, make sure we've got everything, even though this is technically the last day. But it's hopefully the end of this year.
And then what's next for you, Izzy?
I sort of going forward after I finished my at uni, I really want to just continue getting as many roles as possible. I also really like writing, so I'd love to get scripts, maybe see if I can pitch them to have made into either theatre plays or films, whatever, and really just try and get as much work as I possibly can.
Because it's an interesting line of work, isn't it? I mean, I don't want to be the one that sits here and talks you through the figures, but that's all anybody ever did to me. Of course, you're going into a profession where most people spend most of their time unemployed. It's not an easy... I mean, if it was easy, everybody would do it, of course. But it's not an easy way to earn a living, is it?
No, and I think everybody, or this is sort of my sort of experience talking to people, at one point in their life says, I would love to be an actor, or I'd love to be a pop star. It's something that a lot of people really aspire to be, and it's just taking that one step further to do studying, research, and simultaneously doing other jobs that can help sort of fund your life and, pay for your house or your apartment or whatever, but also doing something that can hopefully build up your portfolio, make you a little bit bigger, and then push you towards the right. It's all about networking, getting in with the
It's like you were saying about the quality of cameras and stuff. University projects now, and even some high level quality college projects, they're like getting to the same standard. And it's edging closer to being like everyone can kind of do it.
I mean, I think it's such a fantastic time for kind of, we've got video cameras been out 25, 30 years, and people used to say, when Blair Witch came out, people look at this guerrilla filmmaking, here we go. And to be fair, it wasn't. But now I think there's real possibilities there. I mean, literally 3 or 4 grand's worth of stuff, and you can make a film that Netflix will put on there, which is great.
That's literally what we've been basically doing. That's like the budget is so low, and it's just people who worked with me with other projects. They've come along and they know unfortunately they want to support me. Like the lead Ian Hodson, he came on with he's the father, he's the second lead, and they're just willing to put themselves out there, and it's brilliant because he's working with non-actors and actors as well.
It's fantastic. Listen, thanks very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you.
And I know that Tom was walking past you too. Tom who works for us. Sorry to all happen. You've got to go on the radio, which is absolutely brilliant. It's been lovely to meet you, Jordan-Kane. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.